Greetings, it's Cigar Dave, the General front and center for my daily briefing of Wednesday, November 6, 2013, the day after Election Day. Yesterday, a couple of very interesting races. First of all, in New York, the next Ayatollah was elected, Bill de Blasio. If you thought Ayatollah Michael Bloomberg was bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. De Blasio is an absolute certified Marxist. He's already stated that he wants to increase taxes, especially on those making over $500,000 a year. And you know, if he's going after people over $500,000, that's just a starting point. He wants to raise funds for pre-K and other social programs. Like, New Yorkers are not taxed enough. You have, what, an 8 or 10% state tax? You have a 5% city tax, and now he's coming for more. We will keep a very close eye on de Blasio. The first order of business after he is sworn in early January, he will change the name of New York to New Detroit, because that's exactly how New York will end up in just a matter of months. It's going to make David Dinkins look like a brilliant mayor. Now let's move on to Virginia. Virginia, Ken Cuccinelli almost pulled it off. Terry McAuliffe, with the help of Obama and Clinton and the entire Democratic machine, outspending Cuccinelli by a big margin, wins. But there's a lesson to be learned for the GOP, and that is Obamacare, as we know, is not popular in any way, shape, or form. Republicans can win in November, but they've got to win smart. They've got to win differently than in the past. And the first and foremost, they have to get rid of talking about social issues. Talk about issues that are of importance to the American people. I'm sorry, but social issues no one cares about. And if you think that running a candidate from the 4th century is going to attract young people and independent voters, GOP, you've got another thing coming. And I have actually put together the Cigar Dave GOP 2014 Victory Maneuvers platform. And I'm going to explain it to you. And if the Republicans in charge and leadership listening, if you follow this, you will win next November 2014. Because if we allow the Democrats to win one more time, another election, our nation is already more doomed than it presently is. So here are my 5 steps. The Victory Maneuvers platform. Number 1, healthcare fix. Americans' right to choose. We always hear the Democrats saying a woman should have the right to choose. Well, I say Americans should have the right to choose their own doctor, their own health insurance provider. Obamacare is an unmitigated disaster. Americans don't want it. Republicans, listen to this 5-star. If you run on fixing Obamacare, not just replacing it, but have a proactive plan, it will resonate not only with Republican voters, but with Democrat voters and independent voters. And Republicans, as Christie said yesterday, cannot be afraid to go into areas where they may not get a majority of votes, but you've got to show up. That means if the NAACP invites you, you show up. If a Hispanic group invites you, you show up. You go where you're not wanted and make your case. If you can pick off 10 or 20%, then that could be the difference between winning next November. The second item, economic opportunity for all. It shouldn't just be about a certain group getting economic opportunity. It should be everybody. You want to start your own business? Then as a Republican, you believe in allowing power to the individual. So let economic opportunity spread to everyone. Make economic opportunity easy. We've got to fix the economy. That's the second issue I would run on. The third is empower American citizens, not government. That means let's gut the NSA. Enough of this spying on American citizens. Congress, the House, the Senate, and I'll tell you, I think the executive branch has no clue as to the extent of spying that is going on American citizens. Enough's enough. We spend I believe $10 to $15 billion a year, 30,000 employees at the NSA, for what? They couldn't stop a Boston Marathon bomber, but meanwhile they're spying on American citizens. That is wrong, and that must end, and that will resonate with American citizens no matter what party. We need to cut out the waste. We need lean, efficient government. Enough of the bureaucracy. Let's cut the waste. Let's cut the excessive spending. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Independent, or Republican. Nobody wants to see their tax dollars wasted, and they want government that gets out of the way, that doesn't get into the way. And under Obama the last 5 years, government has been the problem. The fourth thing, education and school choice. This is an issue that will absolutely resonate with minority voters, with Democrat voters, and independent voters. Poll after poll after poll shows that minority parents want the opportunity for their children to attend the schools of their choice. They want their children to succeed as students. They want their children to get great educations, go to college, and do well. We want every American to do well as a Republican. The Democrats want to keep people down. Republicans want to empower people. So how do we do that with school choice? And forget what Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton say in the teachers' unions. Parents want it. And if parents want it, the Republicans should absolutely give it to them and run on it. It's an issue that will resonate. And the fifth thing, focus on financial issues, not social issues. If you want to run Rick Santorum, he would have been a great candidate in the 4th century, not in the 21st century. I care about one thing, or a couple of things, but primarily I want government out of my life. I want the opportunity to run a business without excessive government interference and excessive government taxation. Power to the American people. We do not need excessive government, excessive interference. And the one thing that Americans don't want, the overall majority, as we've learned the last number of elections, they do not want government getting into people's personal issues. And let me give you an example that I think will resonate. We as Republicans or as conservatives always say we believe that people and citizens are smart enough to make their own decisions. We don't need the government interfering and telling us what to do. So as Republicans and conservatives, we should believe that less government, let people make their decisions. But when it comes to the right to choose, every conservative and every ultra-right-winger has to get involved. Whether or not you believe in the issue, it does not resonate with the majority of Americans. It's over. It's a dead issue. So when it comes to choice, when it comes to gay marriage or anything else involving social issues, hands off. Today's younger generation has always grown up where abortion has been legal, and so has the popularity of gay and lesbian couples. Hey, it may not be for you. It's not for me. I like having my harem. But there are those people that are out there. They want to live that lifestyle. Let them enjoy it. Let them have their way. We could care less. As long as we can live in a country that allows us to be economically prosperous and government out of our backs, that should be enough. And for all those ultra-right-wingers that say, well, wait a minute, we've got to get the whole pie, here's the real, simple, plain truth. If you want not only 3 more years of Obama, but 4 more years of Hillary Clinton and the taxocrats and the other socialists running your life and running the government for the next 4 to 40 years, then keep voting the way you have been voting. If you want to get rid of the socialism and you want to get rid of all the other interference in your life from the bureaucrats, the politicians in Washington, then this plan that the GOP leadership should follow with these 5 issues: fix health care, economic opportunity for all, empower American citizens, not government, education and school choice, focus on financial issues, not social issues. This will resonate, and the GOP will win in 2014. You may not get 100%, but would you take 70 or 80%? I sure as hell would, and I guarantee you most of the American people would as well. So we've got a lot of work to do. Hopefully the leadership, and it's been lacking in the GOP, will pay attention. And I'm going to post this at cigardave.com. I'll post it on my Facebook, facebook.com/CigarDave, my Twitter account, @CigarDaveShow, so that you can see this and distribute it. And I'm hoping that there are members of Republican leadership in the GOP that are listening. Listen to this 5-star and follow my 2014 GOP Victory Maneuvers platform. Enough of the socialism, enough of the Bolsheviks, enough of the Marxism. Let's get back to this country being an economic powerhouse, an economic engine where citizens are empowered and we don't have to be force-fed all this other social nonsense from the government 24/7. Lieutenants, as always, catch me every week on the Cigar Dave Show. Don't forget to download my mobile app for the iPhone or iOS devices and Android devices as well. Cigar Dave the General, follow my plan and the GOP will win in November.